What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is the Blacklist, Season 8, Episode 16, Nicholas Obenrader. So, blah, 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 blah. Elizabeth is terrible. She's an idiot. She's stupid. The task force is stupid for aligning themselves with her. Blah, blah, blah. Done. So that's still my mindset. But all this stuff with Ivan Stepanov, that's where I feel like the main intrigue of this episode grabbed me, because we are finally starting to get a few answers, and it seems like Townsend's going to start to get some answers as well. So that plot has finally started to move forward, and that's something that I'm kind of interested in seeing. We also do see that Reddington sets up an assassination attempt using this Priya Lagaria? I don't think that's right. Terrible with names. But it's clearly he set this whole assassination attempt up on Nicholas Townsend. I don't really know what'll happen if he gets taken out. Like, is that it? Do all these people that work for him, will they just be done? I don't know, and it's very interesting to think about, if you take out the head guy, because most of the time you don't see that happen in these scenarios, you don't see the big evil overlord taken out, like, I guess before the final climax type of thing. So you don't ever really get to see, okay, so you take him out, what happens to this whole criminal empire he's built? All the people that work for him, the people that he has in the FBI, in Moscow, and all these other places. What happens then? Who takes over? And I guess maybe that could have something to do with what Reddington's trying to do. Maybe he's trying to get in there and sort of be the head of all of this so he can take it down from the inside type of thing. Or maybe, if they are going to go the route of, no, you can't trust him, then that would mean that he's just in there so that way he could step in and take over after Neville Townsend is dead. So, I don't know. Just kind of feels like all these possibilities are out there, and I don't know which path they're going to take anymore, because it feels like the right path, if you want this show to have a good feeling at the end of it, would be he's looking to try to take it down from the inside, so he'll become the head of this empire and start dismantling it from within type of thing. But if you are going to try to make Elizabeth seem like the good guy, then he's going to step into the power, and then she's going to try to take him down, and then we're going to be rooting for her, even though she's easily manipulated and not that great of a person and willing to let innocent people die. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, overall, the episode was kind of interesting because we are taking some steps forward. We are seeing moving pieces on the chessboard happening. But at the same time, there is still the frustration of Liz and all of her idiotic decisions, and the fact that the task force is like, oh no, we trust her. Completely 100% trust her. Even though she doesn't probably know half of what she's talking about. Because that's the thing. There's been so many times throughout this show when she's been convinced that she has the right answer. Like, she finally knows the truth about what's going on with Reddington, the truth about what he's trying to do, and then it's not at all that. And yet, for some reason, we're just supposed to believe, no, she's got it figured out this time, guys. I don't know. It's just mind-numbingly frustrating. But yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward episode to talk about. Nothing too great, and the normal stuff that's pretty bad. So, on to the next episode. And now, episode 17, Ivan Stepanov. Yeah, this is the I told you so episode where basically everything Red has been saying all season gets proven true. Liz gets more than what she bargained for because Townsend finds out the truth, whatever that truth is, and now all of a sudden he's after her and he wants to kill her and Reddington and basically everybody who's involved with Reddington. So, yeah, I mean, I think I said this a couple episode reviews ago, but there just comes that point where everybody's been doubting Reddington. Everybody don't know if they can trust him or not, and you get to this point where everything that he's been saying, all the stuff that he's been doing, it finally gets revealed that he's on the right side of things. He's been trying to protect people. He's got a plan in place. You should have trusted him, and now here we are, and now all of you have a target on your back. Good job, Liz. Are you happy? Are you happy you got the truth, which you didn't even get? Oh, God. Again, it was just more so... Well, I think it does come down to, similar to what I've talked about before, the formula. I don't mind if some things are formulaic, but I would like to see some slight alterations to that formula, and I'm not seeing it here. It's the same exact thing every single season. Everybody doesn't trust Reddington. Everybody thinks he's a criminal. Everybody thinks he's only doing stuff for himself. And then at some point it gets revealed, no, actually, he's been helping you all along. He is helping himself, but he's been working for you. He's been doing the right thing. He's had a plan in place this whole time. You should have like I just said. It happens almost every season. And I feel like I would like to see a little bit of an alteration. Maybe somebody does trust him. Maybe the team decides to trust him. After everything Liz had done, I honestly thought that would have been kind of interesting if the team said, you know what? Liz is our friend. She's going down a dark path. We're going to need Reddington's help, so let's just rely on him to help us out and get her back. That would have been different. If Reddington had finally... Obviously, whatever his big truth is, he's not going to share. But if he had just shared this stuff a little bit sooner than in this episode where things finally came to a head... maybe because Liz turned down this dark path, he finally opened up to Harold and said, hey, here's some of it. I can't give you everything, but here's some of it just so you can trust me so we can officially work together, because where Liz is heading, it's going to be bad for her, and she's putting herself in danger. Anything like that. But nope, it's got to be the same. It's got to be half-truths, 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 and then eventually 3/4 truths come out, and now everybody's in danger because they wanted to try to find out the full truth. It's just, like I said, it's been done. So, that being said, even despite my frustration, the show has me by the balls. I don't know how they do it, but they do have this certain level of intrigue, this certain level of ability to get you engaged and wanting to know answers, to the point where even though I've been very frustrated with this season, not been a fan of how they've handled a lot of it, I'm on board. And I want to know, what is this truth? What is this truth about N13 that now makes Townsend want to kill Elizabeth? Like, she can't possibly be N13. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So what is the connection? Why is she all of a sudden on his enemies list? I don't know. And it raises a lot of questions that now I want answers to. So, yeah, that's something the show tends to do very well, is it does get me engaged. It gets me wanting to know more, and I'm now ready to see where the rest of the season takes us. So, don't know how they do that. Even in probably my least favorite season of the show thus far, I'm still just, give me some answers, please. I don't know, maybe it's the mystery lover in me. I'm getting a little tired because it's late, but I'm gonna see it through this kind of final of these 3 episodes. I'm ready to get some answers, so I'm hoping they give me something by the end of this season. Again, I know I've got 2 more seasons after this, so they're not going to explain everything, but he did talk about being close to the end game, so maybe we'll at least start to see a little bit of what he was planning to do, and we'll see the beginnings of that this season. But all in all, overall it was a good episode, and it was enjoyable. Just the I told you so stuff feels kind of cathartic now that the team sort of is seeing the consequences of their actions. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the next episode. See you there. And finally, episode 18, The Protean. Oh. Yeah, Liz is just the worst. So not only did last episode not convince her that maybe Reddington was right not to pursue this line of truth that she feels she so deserves, but she continues on this quest. A ton of people get killed that she's close to. Her daughter's life gets put in danger as well. And yet somehow she just doesn't make any connections in her brain that maybe this wasn't the best idea. Because again, a lot of the stuff that's happened to her is because of her own dumbassery trying to expose the truth. Because in trying to expose this truth that she feels like Reddington's been keeping from her, all she's doing is leading Townsend to all these answers that he's been looking for, and putting her own life and the lives of everybody else around her in danger because of it. Idiot. Not only that, but then she needs the Protean alive so that way he can tell her where to meet Townsend, and yet for some reason she gives him the ample opportunity to try to take her gun and get him shot. If she just lets the FBI take him in, there's a chance they interrogate him. They might be able to find out where he was going, or maybe Reddington interrogates him. You know, gets what's the guy with the goat to try to get some answers out of him, and then maybe you find out the meeting with Townsend that way. But instead, no, you're just like, no, I'm gonna point this gun. I'm gonna put it right next to his head so that way he can easily grab it. And oh man, he grabbed it and Wrestler shot him, and now he's dead. Dang it, Wrestler, why'd you shoot him? I can't believe you shot him. It's all your fault, not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm the right one in all of this. I'm the protagonist. I never make any mistakes. God. Sorry, I need to drink some water. God. Because it's so frustrating. And at least in this episode, it does sort of feel like she's more grasping at straws. Because, again, there have been some episodes where it feels like they're writing that she is so right, she's on top of things, she is the protagonist, you should really root for her. In this one, it really did feel like she was more... almost, she has no footing to stand on. She's flailing at sea, claiming, no, I've got this. You know, it's all Reddington's fault. I'm the right one in all of this. I'm the one who is correct here. Reddington, he's still wrong, and he's the cause of all of this. And it sounds more like somebody who's just pointing fingers and trying to play the blame game, when in reality she's in denial about her role in all of this. So I don't know if that's what they were intending, but that's the feel that I got from this episode, is that they really were painting her more in like a no, she's been wrong this whole time, and now she's paying for those consequences. Even the line at the end, or near the end, when she's talking to her sister in the car, or no, actually she's praying, and she said, you know, I used to believe that good would be rewarded, or good would win and evil would be punished, or something like that. She's like, obviously that's not true, not in this world. And all I'm thinking is, I mean, you did work with a really, really evil dude, and you're facing the punishment for it. You know, I'm not saying Reddington is necessarily good. We have seen he's willing to do some dirty stuff. But if we're going to compare who's more evil, I think Townsend might win that competition. And you've been willing to work with him. You've been willing to do some awful things for him just to get these answers for some reason. Like, you're so desperate to expose Reddington for what he truly is. And you made a deal with the devil, and now you're paying for it. So those words sounded really hollow and empty based on everything that's happened in the show. And again, I do hope that that's what they were intending to show. And it's not like oh guys, feel so bad for her. She's just trying to get justice, you know? I don't feel any of that. I'm honestly sitting here kind of going, yeah, I mean, this is what happens, you know? You wanted answers. You didn't get the answers because you were an idiot in how you handled everything, and now here are the consequences for your actions. Congratulations. You're a criminal. You're being arrested. Everybody that you love is in danger. You lost your sister. You lost your friends. Unlucky. You know, Reddington, he could easily have a whole I told you so party in your honor. But I'm guessing he's probably going to not have time for that, so we won't focus on that right now. But overall, I mean, it was a good episode. And not just in the regard of we finally get to see Liz kind of eating her own words, but also just the way it was set up. The Protean was also a very fun bad guy to have, especially in how he worked off of Townsend. Because obviously we've seen Townsend is a little crazy. and so he can fly off the handle sometimes. He's very angry and aggressive. So it was interesting to see him hire an assassin who's very mellow, who doesn't like to be rushed, who just, the way he talked to him. It made for a great scene because he calls him all angry. I thought you were gonna give me answers. Come on, what are you gonna work or not? And he's just sitting there calmly. He's like, I told you, I'll let you know when I have key. And hangs up. Don't you hang up on me! it was almost a little bit of a comedy act between the two of them. But no, he was equally as intimidating. The fact that we lost four major players. Jax, Chip, and Essie, all working for Liz, which they did try to make their deaths a little bit more sad than I think most of us probably felt. Because let's be honest, I mean, if anybody was behind Liz and her crusade, they might have felt something, but I feel like most of us were not. So this whole crew that was helping her, it kind of felt like they were just the tag-alongs who... It feels more like they're just like, yeah, Liz, we got your back, and they have, again, nothing to stand on. So seeing them go was not really that sad for me, but Jen was. The fact that the only reason she was involved in any of this is just because she's related to Liz. And unfortunately, Liz's actions brought this down upon her. And that one was kind of a sad death for me. So I didn't get choked up or anything, but it did kind of make me feel sympathetic for her. So that one's a pretty big one, in my opinion. And again, I'm hoping... I thought at the end of last episode that would be a wake-up call for Liz, but clearly it wasn't. So maybe seeing what Townsend is willing to do to get to her, seeing her half-sister die in front of her because of this assassin that was hired by Townsend, hopefully that will be enough to make her go, okay, maybe I need to wake up a little bit and realize that Reddington is not the bad guy here. In this current situation, he is not the bad guy. So maybe let's work together and get rid of the main threat that's not just threatening me, but it's also threatening the task force, my daughter, basically everybody you know and love is under threat now because of the Townsend directive. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. I think that's about it, though. Just overall, good episode, getting on the right track, and gets me excited to see how the rest of the season's going to shape out. So, that's all for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on these 3 episodes? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Blacklist reviews, and I will see you guys at the next one. Peace out.